Yup, it's that time again. Mercury stationing retrograde. On September 27th, Mercury, the planet of mischief, messages, technology, transportation, the list goes on, is going to be stationing retrograde at 25 degrees of Libra in 28 minutes. So keep an eye on your Libra house and actually all the air houses, because Mercury is retrograding, spending extra time in the air houses of our chart. But specifically this time around, we want to be paying attention to that Libra house because there's something that we're excavating. There's something that we're redoing. There's something we need to rethink, replan, recalibrate. Maybe we just need to relax and rest. Those are other re words. So a lot of times the RE words are going to apply during Mercury retrograde. We have to rethink, re-envision, all of the above. So there's going to be something that we need to redo here. So pay attention to your Libra house. And so this retrograde is going to be happening here from September 27th through October 18th, where Mercury will then station direct at 10 degrees and 7 minutes of Libra. So specifically that window, that 15-degree window from 10 to 25 Libra, you want to pay attention because especially if you've got a planet there, that could mean that this Mercury retrograde is speaking most loudly to you. So the good news is that Mercury actually enjoys being in an air sign. Mercury is a triplicity ruler of the air element. So we can expect that this Mercury retrograde just might be a little bit more constructive rather than confusing. I know, thinking back to a few recent Mercury retrogrades where we had them in the water element, it was murky, it was confusing, it was topsy-turvy, it was overwhelming. There was so much happening there. And I think that this Libra one will be pleasant. It'll be a little bit more pleasant because I think that Mercury is really going to try to be constructive for us. We know that some of the key aspects that Mercury is going to be repeating before, during, and after the retrograde are going to be that square to Pluto that we just talked about. So definitely go and check out that one. Another one is this opposition to Chiron, that Mercury is going to station direct in this opposition to Chiron. And then also we have some repeating trines to Jupiter. So there's something here for us to discover, to heal, and to expand. So I feel like this is going to be really constructive, although we may not like what we find initially with that Mercury square to Pluto. There may be something that's a little bit an inconvenient truth, if you will. There's something about it that just kind of like messes things up for us conceptually, but there's something more. There's an invitation to cross our threshold and to expand into deeper understanding. And there can be something that's really remedial. There's something that's really healing because, again, Mercury's retrograde in Libra is trying to make peace somehow, is trying to bring more beauty or more harmony or more understanding into that arena of our life. So look where Libra is in your chart, and that will tell you about where we're trying to bring more harmony, more flow, more dialogue. We want to have this understanding that is taking place. So overall, general Mercury retrograde advice applies. You definitely want to think twice about things. This isn't really the time to be impulsive. This isn't necessarily the time to start new projects per se, unless this is something that you've been planning and in the making about for a long time. For example, I'm up here in a new room. You might have noticed we're doing some renovations downstairs. So RE renovations. But we have been planning this for a really, really long time. So I'm going to tell you too, do not put your life on hold for the planets, because actually something like a renovation is kind of fits with the Mercury retrograde. We're redoing, we're reconfiguring, and you never know what you're going to find when you open those walls up. So the thing is with Mercury retrograde is be open to seeing things in a different way and changing the plan and changing your mind. So we're going into this knowing that that's probably going to be the case, that we're going to have to shift our plan. Luckily, we've been planning this long enough that we're just like, all right, well, we could do this. So we're ready. I absolutely don't recommend putting your life on hold for the planets in any way. However, we do want to be a little bit more mindful during Mercury retrograde. It's not necessarily the best time to do things if you can wait. Another good example is like, I find that a lot of people go job searching during Mercury retrograde because even though it's not the best time to start something new, it's like that feeling of I need to do something different is really loud for people. So if you can kind of plan and wait, it's probably the best case scenario. But again, there's no need to put your life on hold for the planets. Sometimes the process is really just reflective of what's happening in the celestial sphere. So we're rethinking, we're redoing, we're re-envisioning, all of that. You want to give yourself extra time when you leave the house. Don't try to just like cut it to the last minute here during Mercury retrograde. We want to allow space. We want to allow space to change your mind, for the change of plans, for the rerouting, etc. You want to double check all your emails. You want to make sure that that text is going to your partner and not your mom, for example, if you're sending a risque photo. I know that is something that has happened a lot during Mercury retrograde. The other thing to keep in mind is that a lot of people want to blame all their problems and mishaps on Mercury retrograde. It's the convenience card, it's a thing. But the thing is that Mercury is actually very dignified. Mercury is a magician, and Mercury can actually speak in symbols to us and parables. So it's up to us to be the interpreter of that and to be willing to take the time and space to really interpret what's happening here. Maybe you're stuck in traffic because you actually need to slow down and do less. Maybe the wrong item arrived in the mail because you're being careless and thinking about too many different things at once. So the universe is going to speak to you in a magical way, and so it's up to us to interpret it. And sure, sometimes things just go wrong because Mercury is the trickster. Mercury does like to have fun, and it is one of those kind of cosmic giggles where we are here to do that too. It's not supposed to be all this serious all the time. So Mercury is the deity that reminds us to laugh at our own mistakes and to laugh at our mortality, to laugh at our immortality, meaning like we're human, we're gonna fuck up, we're not always gonna get it right, and we have blind spots, and that's really the mind. Mercury rules the mind. We have blind spots. And so, yeah, it's very human, and we should learn to laugh a little bit sometimes. So anyways, that is your Mercury retrograde astrology shot, and I hope it's really juicy for you, and I will catch you next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me across platforms at Astro Catherine or visit my website where you can book your reading.